All right, guys, John Sullivan back for part 3 of our series on what great coaches do that average coaches and average leaders just give lip service to. First week we talked about they focus on how they make their players feel, because when their players feel good, their players perform best. Next, we talked about who they surround themselves with. Do they surround themselves with people who have more experience? Do they surround themselves with other coaches and other leaders that are good at the things that they're not good at so that they can learn and get better? Or what average coaches do, they surround themselves with people who are yes men or yes women. They surround themselves with people who don't make them better. They surround themselves with people who are good at what they're good at, and they miss out on all the stuff that they could be better at. The third thing, and this is really, really key. Great leaders, great coaches are always learning. They are always learning. I remember as a young coach, I went to coaching schools, and I would sit in the back, and I would never raise my hand. And then I started noticing all the top people, all the instructors, all the best coaches, the most experienced people in the room, they were sitting in the front, and they were asking the most questions. And what I realized was that I was so afraid of telling people that I didn't know everything, that I wasn't learning anything. And these great coaches who were secure in themselves and secure in what they knew and what they had done in their lives, of course they weren't afraid to learn. Of course they weren't afraid to ask questions or look dumb. So they asked the most simple questions, and they got great answers, and they took the most notes, and they sat in the front of the room. So if you want to be a great coach, never stop learning. Never stop learning. And the next time you go to a clinic or a coaching course or even a license where you're getting tested, remember that even if you don't pass your license, even if you don't pass your test, even if you don't get your diploma, you can still come out of there a far better coach than you went in. I've seen far too many people go spend 8 days, 10 days at a soccer coaching license and think it was a complete waste of time because they didn't get their license. And you know what? Maybe it was because they didn't take advantage of all the people that they were there with to learn. And so instead of coming home with a wealth of knowledge, they came home with a failure. And they didn't take advantage of their instructors and their classmates and make themselves better. So every time you meet another coach, every time you meet a great leader, even if they're not in your sport, even if they run a business, you have something to learn from them. And ask the questions that you should be asking, because that's going to make you better. So I hope this has been a helpful series. We always love if you'll share this, and please give us any comments, ask any questions, and give us some ideas for the next series that we can do on coaching and leadership. John O'Sullivan, and we'll see you soon.